Alright, hello people, I'm the Dude, and this is my rant review for the movie The Grey, which was suggested, requested, whatever the hell you want to call it, like a couple of weeks ago, something like that. I'm really good at writing things down, but I'm also really good at losing whatever I write it down on. So yeah, someone requested it, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. I'd already seen The Grey, way back when it first came out, and I thought I put it in one of my monthly rant videos from way back whenever I did them every month. Apparently not. I went back and I looked and I couldn't find it. If it's in there, it's hidden really well. But yeah, The Grey. Liam Neeson. That's all you need to say for me to be on board. Honestly, there's a few actors that are like that. You say Liam Neeson, I'm there, pretty much. Doesn't really matter what the movie's about, as long as it's not a chick flick. I'm sorry, I'm a dude. I don't watch chick flicks. But you know, that one caveat, I'm pretty much there. In this case, it's man versus wild type thing where, I guess I should go over the short version. The short version, it's okay. It's not the best survival type movie ever. The ending was kind of meh. I think a lot of people were more on board for the ending than I was. I expected more. I wanted to see what was actually going to happen. I'm that kind of person. I mean, I have an imagination, don't get me wrong, but in that case, when they built up to that so much throughout the movie, I wanted to see it. I wanted to see the ending. But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't a bad movie. There are much better versions of this movie, though. But anyways, the long version with the spoilers, Liam Neeson is some kind of wolf expert, and he's hunting wolves so they won't attack the miners or what. I don't even know what they are, oil workers, right? That's his job, and he's apparently really good at it. The problem is, very shortly after the beginning of the movie, when we get to know, who he is and what he's there for, they get on a plane and the plane crashes. And the best part about the whole movie, well, one of the best parts, is that plane crash. It's handled really, really well. I mean, they're doing the whole nonchalant thing, goofing around, talking about random crap on the plane. And then before you know it, shit officially hits the fan, and the scene where the plane is actually crashing and he's like strapping himself into like 3 different seats, and the wall of the plane flies off, and you see the scenery flying by, and the aftermath when the plane actually crashes and he has to pick himself up and go try and find the survivors and deal with the wounded and all that stuff is handled really well. Easily one of the better parts of the movie. And Liam Neeson can handle that role, that serious role where he's the guy that gets stuff done. I mean, that's who he is. As far as acting goes, that's his one note. He's the guy that gets stuff done, whether it be saving his daughter from, ransom douchebag people, or, it doesn't matter. He's that guy. And in this movie, he's that guy again. So he like gathers everyone up and tries to, deal with the wounded, and some guy dies right in front of him, and he's all telling him, it'll be okay, He's like, who do you love? And he's like, I love Rose. He's like, who's Rose? And I think it ends up being his daughter or something. But it's a cheesy scene, but it works because they bring it back around later in the movie. Anyways, really cheesy scene, but the rest of it, the plane crash and all the aftermath and all that's really good. Very quickly that fades, and it turns into, oh, there's wolves. And then it turns into, oh, the wolves just chewed this guy's face off. Oh, the wolves want to eat all of us. That kind of thing. I mean, very, very quickly, in a really short span of time in the movie. That first death scene where they know there's wolves out there, right? And the guy on watch, that's why he's on watch, because of the wolves. He decides to stroll off and take a piss. Big mistake. The wolves just like tag team him, and they're like yanking out his intestines and like the crunching sound when they're nomming on his face, and he doesn't make it. Big spoiler. Not a big spoiler. He doesn't make it. That's when they finally realize that they've got to do something. When it gets real, like it wasn't real enough. They're literally in the middle of, I don't know, the Antarctic or something, like Alaska, some really, really cold place where the elements will kill you. They don't have any warmth. They don't have much food. They don't really have anything to protect themselves. And now they got wolves. And the wolves mean business. So, yeah, Liam Neeson, obviously, takes charge. And he's like, we gotta go for the tree line, because no one's going to rescue us. And they go for the tree line, and obviously they lose a couple more people in the process. And that's what it is. The whole rest of the movie is very formulaic. They're trying to get back to civilization somehow. I don't even know if they know where civilization is. He says something vague early in the movie, like, we got to go south. So, I don't know, maybe south is where the nearest town is? I don't know, but the whole rest of the movie, I mean, like 80% of the movie is just them trekking through the wilderness and the wolves picking them off one by one. You've seen this before. If you've seen any movie like this, you've seen it before. It's not handled poorly. It's just not anything new. My favorite scene in the whole movie, other than the plane crash, is when they finally get a look at all the wolves. When the wolf pack shows up, up until that point, you see a couple of wolves kill that guy, and you hear the wolves howling, and you see the one alpha wolf. No, this is when you get a sense of the numbers, right? They've made it to, I think it's like when they made it to the woods. No, this is before that. Sorry, this is before they even leave the plane. They're by their little fire, right? This like makeshift fire that they made, and they hear noises. And he turns around and looks, and he sees a wolf. He sees like eyes, all right, like glowing wolf eyes in the darkness. He picks up this torch, and he's like gonna chase it off, right? And then you see like 15 sets of glowing wolf eyes. It's not just one wolf; it's a metric ton of them. This is the scene where they realize that they are screwed. You know what I mean? Like, this is the scene where, you know, you pee yourself, basically. I mean, like, one wolf, okay. Maybe a handful of wolves, possibly. It's a stretch, but in the realm of possibility. No, we're talking, like, a ridiculously massive amount of wolves. They try to put on a good face and, you know, talk about strategy, what they're going to do. They're going to fight back and, you know, all this stupid stuff, but very early on in the movie, it's hopeless, basically. There's no way. They're not going to outrun the wolves. They can't outfight them. There's too many of them. They don't have any real weapons. They're in the middle of the Arctic. They can't outlast them. So really, very early on in the movie, if you have a brain cell in your head, you realize it's already over. Short of them stumbling upon, I don't even know what, like some far out settlement out in the middle of nowhere in the Arctic tundra, they're screwed. That was really their only hope. And, you know, as the movie goes on, you get to see the wolves, and the wolves eat people, and, you know, there's like a straggler, someone lagging behind, he gets nommed on. Someone trips and hurts himself, he gets nommed on. Someone's sick, they get nommed on, you know, that kind of thing. Any kind of weakness, they pick them off, one at a time. There's another pretty good scene where they actually kill one of the wolves. I think it's the only one. I think they only kill one wolf throughout the entire movie. The whole movie is man versus wolves, and they managed to kill one. And the wolves kill, I think it's like 8. I think there was 8 of them total. So not exactly on the winning side of the war versus the wild. But this wolf, right? This one lone wolf, they explain it. Liam Neeson explains it. Apparently he can read wolf minds. He says that they sent one of the weaker wolves in the pack as a test. They sent this really weak, whatever, like, I forget what he called him, but like this outcast. That's what he called him. He called it an outcast. This outcast wolf. They sent this outcast wolf to test them, right? And the other wolves just kind of sat back and watched, I guess. So this outcast wolf tags this guy in the back, right? And they're hitting it with sticks and they're stabbing at it. And the guy with the guy that the wolf's on has a knife. And Liam Neeson, he'd come up to this plan earlier. He had shotgun shells but no shotgun. So he built this like makeshift like boomstick. You know, like you see it in shark movies where it's like a pole with a shotgun shell in the end and you poke him with it and it explodes. He built one of those out of a stick and a shotgun shell, and he just tags the wolf and boom, dead. It just explodes. Pretty good scene because you didn't know at the time if more wolves were coming. If it was just going to be that one wolf or if it was going to be all-out war or what. It turned out to be just that one wolf because the wolves are really smart, and they sent in this one useless wolf to get itself killed, I guess. Whatever, I don't know. The rest of the scenes after that, they're really not that interesting. I mean, they try to jump across a chasm, and one guy, like, fails horribly and snaps himself in half, basically, and the wolves nom on him, big surprise. They kind of get chased across this river, and one guy, he's like, I can't go on, and they just leave him there, and I think he gets nommed on. I don't know. Maybe he just froze to death. I don't know, one of the two. Another guy gets caught up in the river. Probably the first guy to die not to wolves since the plane crash. He gets caught up in the river and stuck under this, like, fallen tree, and he just drowns. Liam Neeson's like, he's like, you gotta hold your breath, I'm gonna save you. And no, he doesn't save him. Spoilers, he doesn't save him. So at the very end of the movie, probably, this movie was, like I said, it was really good when the plane crashed, and it was really good when the wolves first showed up. But from that moment on until right now, the very end, it's very by the numbers. It's very paint by numbers, and there's really nothing interesting about it. Until the very end. The very end, I'm I'm never on the fence about endings for the most part. I either love them or I hate them. Period. This one I didn't like at all. I don't hate the movie. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's a so-so movie, mainly because of the beginning. But the ending lost me completely. It's this real badass moment, right? Liam Neeson, he's the only one left. He's fucking Liam Neeson, which is awesome in and of itself. He has like a makeshift, like razor sharp clawed glove thing. I think he made it out of credit cards or something. And then he's got a knife in his other hand, right? He's ready to go to war. And he's the only one left, and the wolves literally are surrounding him. At the very end of the movie, somehow they managed to stumble, well, Liam Neeson, the only one left, managed to stumble on the wolves' den, right? This was the reason, supposedly, that the wolves were chasing him all this time. It wasn't for food. It was because they were a threat. He manages to find the one place in the entire universe he didn't want to be. He found their den, presumably where the cubs are and all that. And the wolves are surrounding him at this point. He's made like the makeshift claw fist thing, and he's got a knife in his hand. He's got this look in his eyes like it's on, you know, like he's gonna go out fighting. You don't get to see anything at all. Nothing happens. It just fades. Talk about wasted potential. Imagine how cool that scene could have been. Even if you just took out the alpha, just one wolf. It was like, I don't know, 12 wolves against just him. Even if he managed to go out and take one wolf with him, it would have been epically badass. Seriously, but no, you don't get to see anything. Nothing. At all. They build it up from the beginning of the movie that he's this real badass. Like, you know, he handles the wolves like it's nothing. And he knows everything about them, and he's an expert and all this stuff, and he's Liam Neeson, and you're thinking there's going to be a big showdown. The minute you see him and the wolves, you're thinking, oh, this is going to kick massive ass. The whole movie is going to be worth it because of this one scene. You know? I mean, just plain and simple, that's what you're thinking when that scene hits. Nothing happens. Nothing. You see the look in his eye, and he shows you the weapons he's got, and you see the wolves, and then he's got like a scowly face on, and he kind of like lunges forward at the camera, and that's it. He just fades to black. Obviously, he dies. It's a foregone conclusion. I don't care if it's Liam Neeson. You're not going to take out like 12 wolves with like a knife. Good luck with that. A movie that was very similar to this was Frozen, which I liked quite a bit. I say very similar. Men versus wolves. In this case, it's teenagers. And the wolves are definitely a threat, obviously, but it's not just the wolves. It's more about their situation and what they have to do to try and survive. But yeah, really good movie. Liked it quite a bit better than this, just because on the whole it was more suspenseful. But yeah, it's a somewhat similar movie. Liked it better. Just animals attacking in general. There are way better movies. I could do... In fact, I might do a top 5 on that now that I think about it. Now that I'm doing top 5 videos, because they're fun. Everyone loves top 5, top 100, top 10, top whatever lists. That'd be a good one. I got some pretty good ideas for that. But yeah, there are way better movies about animals attacking people than this one. Honestly, they pay off better. Honestly. You want the face-off with, you know, whatever the animal is and the people. You didn't get it here. Period. Just bottom line. But yeah. Anyways, it's an okay movie. If you like this type of movie, you like Liam Neeson, watch it. Honestly. You could do a lot worse. Let's put it that way. I'll see you guys next time.